So I was wondering why I saw a patch when I tried to play Spider-Man just a few hours ago, and apparently it seems that patch was already announced to be the modification of the Cuban flag, which was incorrectly placed and displayed in Miles's home instead of the Puerto Rican flag, which is where he is supposedly from. Insomniac has finally come out to address this, and they said today's patch corrects an error where the Cuban flag was incorrectly displayed instead of the Puerto Rican flag. We understand that accurate representation matters and greatly regret this error. We sincerely apologize and will do better in the future. Good for them. And then somebody asked and said, "Hi, Insomniac. Why is Miles a cube? Also, why did he not have a body in that cutscene at the end of the game?" This person went ahead and put in a spoiler. Well, I guess it's not a spoiler, but Insomniac Games, whoever is their Twitter account management person, went ahead and replied and said it was related to long play sessions and should also be fixed in today's update. So apparently they've acknowledged one of the more funny bugs that you get to see in the game. I haven't seen it. It would be interesting if I got to see it, but I'm probably going to get the update, and so I'm probably not going to see it, which is fine. I usually look at bugs from the perspective of something that you can learn with. But ladies and gentlemen, what's actually funny is if you look at the quotes, a lot of people are actually saying things like, "Man, I would love to see the cube. I would love to see the cube glitch." Like this person says, "Unplayable. No spider cube. 3 out of 10 game." No, it's a little tongue in cheek. In some I'm sorry, but it is now required by law to have Cube Man as a suit for both Spider-Man, perhaps in a future update. And a lot of people are posting all this stuff. He said, "Finding out that the bug was caused by long play sessions and didn't catch it in the playtest and really shows this game needed more time in the oven." So if the cube bug was just a bug, you're telling me that, you're thinking I need to shower? I put a post and said, the game was telling you all to go outside and touch grass. And someone said, "Didn't expect to see memory leaks in a first party Sony release, but here we are. It's just the reality of video game development. You guys just didn't necessarily see it." Some people are going ahead and saying, they would love to see that this, particular bug itself becomes a skin of some kind. I was laughing and I was like, man, that's crazy that some people are wanting it to be a skin. I think I saw a tweet. There it is. Someone said add it as a skin. But I think what we're seeing here is, a lot of people, in my opinion, and I've always, said and known this, that if gamers like a game, they're willing to forgive every single shortcoming that they can actually place their minds on in order for them to just go ahead and enjoy the game. And I think this is, in a sense, what we need to kind of weigh whenever it is that we're holding a game accountable for having, say, some issues that we would probably say another game that we like is going to be better because it doesn't have those issues, if you get what I mean. No need to try to move the goalpost or try to act like, we're objective when some other game that we don't care about comes out. And then people start to do this stuff of, well, this other game over here, that was buggy. Well, you don't care about bugs, so why should, other people be in a position where they need to care about bugs themselves? So this is definitely something that, in my opinion anyways, I strongly believe that, in the gaming community, I'm glad that we're seeing people actually just state their own positions openly regarding stuff like this, right? They don't necessarily care about these bugs as long as it's not breaking the game, which a bug in many cases will break your experience. But in their minds, it's like, it's a game I'm enjoying, no big deal. But then guess what's going to happen later down the road? You see, this is what fandom usually misplaces. What's going to come down the road is, for the most part, the next iteration or some iteration of this game is more than likely going to see, say, possible bugs or possible issues. And a lot of people are going to start pointing it out at that point, but they're not necessarily going to come back to realize that the actions that they actually, exhibited at a time when they were just hyped are the actions that have encouraged that these games should come out, with the bugs or whatnot. I don't care about bugs, so I'm not maintaining a position where I'm going to, go kick another game in the shin saying, "Oh, you have bugs" or whatnot. No. But I'm hoping that people will realize that their position just needs to remain consistent so that they don't look like, hypocrites, or they don't look crazy. So from what I'm seeing, it appears that a lot of these Spider-Man fans, really like their bugs in their favorite Spider-Man game, I guess. That's, or maybe, they're just making fun and games about it. But there's a reality here that many people probably are not, really thinking about. And that reality is actually something that's quite staunch. You can't just throw it away, just because it's a game that you like. I've seen some people even say, "Oh, that if you're pointing out these things, you're hating on the game." Ladies and gentlemen, that is far from the truth. I was paying attention when we were seeing a lot of these bugs, and I saw all of them. In fact, my problem is, and I've never really thought Insomniac was doing anything crazy in regard to how they approached the game. I just had a problem with the reviewers that didn't even say anything about the bugs. Even Insomniac has said more about bugs than reviewers for the most part. I mean, if you actually think about it, as one agency, they have actually acknowledged way more in regard to bugs than the reviewers themselves, which is kind of a stink in a sense. But I think there might be something more at play here. I think the whole corporate aspect of Access got to a lot of these reviewers, and they probably told them, we're going to be working on these bugs or whatnot. And the reviewers kind of were, in a sense, in a soft way, so it was suggested to them not to mention anything about these bugs because of, some reason here and there. But I'm glad they came out to acknowledge this. In my opinion, I think it's something that needed to happen anyways. But, the damage has already been done. And when I say the damage has already been done is this game has run away with universal acclaim title, which, according to those who usually give the reviews that would lead to a game to get universal acclaim, it doesn't deserve it with the number of bugs that it actually has. But it's somewhat taken this, this title now, and it's illegitimate. It's a stain on their, on their resume. However you want to look at it, it's just the reality. And it may sound harsh, but in the world where, like I've always said, these reviewers have kind of put themselves up as this, arbiters of objectivity. They failed. They have colossally failed. If their integrity is based on the work that they do and they really respect it, then I think that they probably should have been in a position where they actually said something. It seemed like many of them came out after the fact to start talking about these so-called bugs. That's what I thought happened. It was after the fact, after all the reviews and everything has been said and done, after all the hype and all the gyrating, now everybody wants to come and talk about this stuff. So this is really weird at the end of the day. It's fun in games. It's still a video game, but I think we're going to be taking a lot of notes now to kind of see how everybody's doing it and how they're maintaining the same energy. Because like I say, when I make these videos, one day my favorite game is going to come out and people are going to come out and say, well, your favorite game is buggy. And I'm going to tell them, well, shut up. You like bugs in your favorite game too. In fact, you were begging for bug skins, after the bug was actually unveiled to be a real thing. So let me enjoy my buggy game too. Thanks for watching. Peace out.